For the first few moments, any position that allows you to connect to your breathing. So if you're comfortable in the classical cross-legged seat, that's nice, do that. But if you prefer to be lying down, or if you're in a place that has a lot of external distractions, maybe a child's pose will help you turn inward. So just take a few breaths to feel where you are. To feel if you can commit to where you are. If not, change the shape or prop it. If so, take a deep breath in. And a complete exhale out your nose or your mouth. Let it go. We'll take 2 more clearing breaths. Huge inhale, spreading ribs, lifting heart. And sigh it out, or let it seep out your nose until it's gone. One more time like that. Huge breath in. Filling up as much as you can. Pause at the top of the inhale. Unless you're pregnant, then no pausing for you. You keep breathing. See if you can sip in a little bit breath in through the nose, topping off the tank. And then let that go completely. And then resume your breath in silence for a few moments. Not quite as dramatic as those clearing breaths. But do continue to make your breath slower, fuller than your previous unconscious breathing. About 3 more breaths here. And straighten your legs out for a moment. Give them a gentle rub. The energy, the blood that was just compressed around the knees. Letting it move, maybe do some circles around your kneecaps. Or little taps if your legs are falling asleep. We'll move into a neck release. I'm going to offer seated straddle as our sitting position. Though if this is not a comfortable way for you to sit, you'll choose another seat. My left leg is straight, right knee bent. Legs open as wide as comfortable, spine still tall and straight. Flex the left foot and then press on the gas with the ball of the foot, putting energy right out the bones of the foot. Turn your belly button towards your right knee. Reach your right hand out to the side. Lean your head toward your left shoulder. Left hand can walk out on the ground in front of your left leg just as far as you can let your spine comfortably hang, head hanging off spine. Lower your right fingertips to the ground until you feel the stretch in the right side of neck. maybe into the top of the shoulder or up into the jaw. Once you find that spot, take a huge breath into the sensation, the tight area. Exhale, open your mouth a little bit. Let the jaw go completely slack. Three more breaths, starting to unravel the tightness in right side neck, shoulder with your breath. Just watch it untangle. Right fingertips are reaching towards the floor on the right, left ball of foot pressing in the other direction. Head hanging off those lines of tension. Lower the right hand down, roll your chin down to your chest so your head is hanging directly over your pelvis forward. Head might continue to hang here by itself, or maybe the rest of the body starts to fold forward in the half straddle fold. Once you feel your neck jaw start to brace, pause there, send another breath. Exhale, release the jaw. Keep the neck relaxed, reach your tailbone back, pull your belly in to help your spine come up. The head follows. You can use a hand to put your head back on top of your spine. And changing sides. Right leg straight. If the right leg needs a little rub to get the blood flowing back in it, give it a moment. Activate the right foot by pressing on the gas, spreading the toes. Turn your belly towards left leg. Right hand is walking down the inside of right foot, left hand reaching to the left. Head hanging directly over right shoulder so you feel the left side of neck. Start to stretch, and you can play with the position of left arm, feeling for just the right stretch on this side. There are lots of little areas that like to tighten up here in the sides of the neck or the top of the shoulder. You'll settle on just one. And see if you can focus your breath around that little pearl of tension. Starting to drain the tension with your complete exhales. Relax left hand down. Relax chin down to chest. Slowly let the head roll down until you're bowing right over your pelvis between your two thighs. And again, just letting the head go. The more you let the neck go, the more you'll feel that resonate through the rest of your body. You will get a hip stretch and a hamstring stretch. If your heavy head takes you further forward, follow its weight, don't push. You're reaching back with tailbone, pulling belly in. Roll the spine back up. Head will come up very last. In fact, it might not come up until your hand puts it back on top of your spine. Bend both knees on the floor in front of you. Feet on the floor in front of you. And just do a little swish, swish, side to side. If your swish is kind of big, it will cause your hips to walk forward. Just let your hands keep up with them. All right, coming into a cross-legged seat, possibly the other leg in front than the way you started. A couple shoulder shrugs. Inhale to draw the shoulders up to touch your ears. Squeeze the shoulders back and drag them down. 3 more in that direction. Inhale, shoulders up. Squeeze them back and exhale, massage the shoulder blades into your upper back. Inhaling and exhaling. One more time on your breath. And take a couple rolls in the other direction. Inhaling the shoulders up the back. Exhale, roll them forward. 3 more times in that direction. And one more time. Inhale, shoulders up to ears. See if you can hike them up 1 more inch. Squeeze them back. And exhale, let them slide back down away from neck. Chin drops down a little bit. Spine tall. Head floating on top. Unlocking the shoulders. Stay as you are sitting, or if you like, square pose, right leg in front of left. From your cross-legged seat, you'll bring your feet forward a little bit and then walk them out towards your knees. So you're crossing more at the shins. It just gets into a different area of the hips. If you have open hips, you might want to stack one shin on the other. Blocks under the knees are never a bad idea if you're getting any ache in the knees. Right arm forward. Right hand, elbow right in front of right shoulder as you bend the elbow. Bring your left hand onto your right biceps, holding your upper arm. Now, if you've ever had a dislocation, don't do this piece. Just stay here in this shape and breathe. If your shoulder joint's healthy, you'll send your inhale into the joint, or it's stable, I should say. It could be healthy and still dislocate. Exhale, pull your shoulder down and just slide your right arm forward a little bit with your left hand. Not trying to dislocate, just make a little space in the joint and then fill that space with another breath. Left hand comes to the inside of your right elbow, offering some resistance for your elbow to press into. Direct your breath into the right shoulder, the right side of your upper back. Feel it spread. Exhale, pull your right shoulder blade down as you send elbow into your hand. Keep it moving forward, up, and the right hand opening out a little bit. All right, relax your right arm. Stay seated as you are. I'm going to turn around. Bring right arm out to the side. Turn your thumb down and wrap it behind your back. Catch it with your left hand. If this motion you already feel any sharper pains, you're prone to tearing, don't do that. Stay in the unlocking the shoulder shape. Stabilize around the tear. If you've got right arm behind your back, relax your shoulder. Roll the head of the shoulder back. And then on your exhale breath, you might find room to start to move the right hand up. Now this looks a little like what they teach in self-defense classes to do to your enemy. Don't do that to yourself. It shouldn't hurt. There should be a sweet stretch. You can breathe in. And on the exhale, relax the right shoulder so much that if your left hand let go, one more there. As you release the right hand, let it press against the small of your back. Your shoulder should like that. And take a moment, just let your shoulders, one arm might feel longer than the other. We'll deal with that right now. Change the cross of your legs. Left arm in front of shoulder, bend the left elbow. Elbow will try to stay directly in front of the shoulder joint. Right hand holds onto the left biceps. And again, any instability in this shoulder, any history of dislocation, you're not going to pull. You're just going to stay here, holding your arm as you left shoulder socket. You can imagine filling it with fluid because that's literally what you're doing. And as you breathe out, pull your shoulder away from your ear And draw your arm bone forward. Notice what else softens when you, sometimes I feel that right up into my socket. Other days it's down my left spine. Breathe into the space you made. And stabilize. Press right palm into left inner elbow. Breath into left shoulder. Exhale, pull shoulder blade down as you press elbow forward, up, and into your hand. Spread the left fingers and open the hand a little bit more as you press elbow in. One more breath. I know you want to tense up your jaw, but just relax the teeth. And then relax your arm. Again, you'll stay in this position like 30% of your strength. It doesn't have to be real annoying. If you need extra stability in that shoulder. If your shoulder's healthy, left arm out to the side, thumb down, as you wrap it behind back and catch it with right hand. Right hand can hold wrist, forearm, or maybe even elbow, so your shoulder can hang. With your shoulder hanging, open the front of the shoulder a little bit, broaden the left collarbone. And if the stretch seems to fade, there's more room to move, then you start to guide the left hand up. Pause when you feel the stretch, breathe into it. Exhale, let the left shoulder be completely heavy and passive. 2 more breaths here. When you're ready to release, you'll press left hand against the small of your back. You can take a moment with both shoulders hanging or do a few shoulder shrugs. Just explore any movement or space you might have created with your breath. All right, once again, sit with your feet in front of you, your knees bent. Hold on behind your knees. Draw yourself up off your sacrum, off the small part of your back, and balance on those 2 little pointy sitting bones. Sitting up tall, shoulders back, inhale. Hold the breath for a moment, tuck your chin down. Now tuck your tail under, rolling onto sacrum, and exhale. Round your spine backwards, pulling belly back towards spine. Inhale to sit up tall again. Shoulders back, heart lifted. Pause, tuck chin, tuck tail. Exhale, round back into your C curve. Hands are helping, but it's mostly your abdominals doing the work. Inhale, back up. One more like that. Tuck chin, tuck tail. Exhale, pull belly back, pushing the middle of the spine straight back, like cat stretch. Pause, breathe into the stretch in the back body, back of lungs. Exhale, roll down a little bit more. And take a few exhales to keep rolling down, maybe all the way onto your back, as smooth as you can. Some of you will need to put your hands down and help walk it down. Some of you will let go of your hands and test the strength of your abdomen, shaky zone for a moment, and see if you can pull the belly, bumpy parts. Once you're on the ground, no hurry. If you're playing in the shake zone, enjoy it, stir up the fire. On the ground, you can stretch out, arms up overhead, legs long, either arch the back or press it back down into the mat, whichever feels healing to your low back. Huge breath into the length of your body. Then exhale, hug your knees up into your chest. Take a moment to either just pause and breathe or rock out a little bit. Make friends with the mat below you or whatever surface you're practicing on. A blanket or something, extra padding, so it does feel squishy and gooey. And hands hold onto the knees, one on each knee. We'll start to circle the knees together. If your low back allows it, keep the knees together. If you need to keep the knees separate, just make sure they move together, circling in one direction. And by the way, if you need to keep the knees separate because your low back is a little twingy, you can put your yoga block or couch cushion or a little pillow between your thighs to stabilize. We'll be playing this for a few breaths, so you have time to find those toys if you want to. All right, if you've been circling in the same direction, next time you hug knees to chest, pause, breathe in, and exhale, reverse your circles. Smoothing out the circles. Feeling the low back and sacrum starting to smooth out its circles on the ground. Next time knees are to chest, pause. And as you breathe out, start to circle the knees in opposite directions, away from each other and back together. Away and back together. Yes, you'll have to drop the cushion or block if you're using a prop between thighs. Pause next time knees come to chest and reverse that movement. Still breathing. All right, bring the knees together. Place your feet on the floor for just a moment so you can lift your hips up and slide your hands underneath your buttocks, palms down to the fleshy parts on your hands so it doesn't hurt your hands. And then legs, let's do knees bent over pelvis like you're in a chair. If this position does hurt hands or shoulders, you can also roll up a blanket and put that underneath your tailbone. Gives your low back some extra support. Inhale, straighten right legs to the ceiling. Activate the toes, either flex the foot or flex just the toes. Exhale, start to lower the right leg towards the ground. Pull navel to spine. Inhale, pick your leg back up. Exhale, bend both knees. Inhale, left leg straight. Exhale, lower, pull belly down. And only as low as you can before the low back wants to lift up. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, bend your knees. Right leg. Inhale, straight. Exhale, lengthen and lower. Inhale, up. Exhale, bend. Inhale, left leg. Exhale, lower. Inhale, rise. Exhale, bend. If your head and neck are starting to participate, inhale, right leg. Exhale, lower. Like you feel your chin starting to lift when you lower. Put a blanket or pillow under your head. Inhale. Exhale. Or just consciously bring the chin back into the throat. Left leg, inhale. Exhale, lower. Inhale. Exhale, bend. All right, do up to 4 more on each side on your own breath. You may choose to go way slower than I did. Or those of you who are stoking the abdominal fire, might play with a round or two where both legs go at the same time. Then really make sure low back stays pressed, abdominals are doing the work. Whether you're doing one leg or both legs, I'm not concerned how low the legs come. Once you finish the round you're on, do one more on each side. When your sides or rounds are complete, you'll put your feet on the floor, free your hands. You can either drop the knees open into a butterfly or opposite. Let the knees rest against each other. Hands on your low belly. 3 breaths, flushing the low belly out, the hip flexors out with your breath. If your knees are open in butterfly, maybe use your hands to help hug your knees back into your chest. Keep hold of the right knee. Inhale, straighten left leg up. And with control, lower your straight leg all the way down to the ground. Pull your belly in as it lowers. Once it touches down, you can either relax it or flex the foot like you're standing on it. Spinal twist, open your right arm, inhale. Exhale, carry the right knee across into your twist. If you're getting a lot of pull in your low back, you might need to scoot your butt behind you a little bit as your knee comes down. Now bring your right arm across. You're lying on your side. Bend both. Back knees. Keep hold of your left knee. Inhale, right leg straight up. Exhale, lengthen and lower your leg down. Maybe turn the thigh in towards center just a little bit as it lengthens onto the mat. Open your left arm, breathe in. Exhale, spinal twist. Adjustments you need, like sticking your tail behind you or finding a prop to rest your foot or knee on. Without a prop, I like to put my left foot on my right leg. Then my inner thigh tendons can relax into the twist. Fetal curve, bring your left arm across, bend both knees so you're curled up in a little ball on your side. Pause for just a moment. Then ease onto your back. Drawing knees to shoulders, hold on behind your knees. And if you can reach behind your knees to hold your hands for a little extra support, you can do that. And that way your legs can just relax. Feel your sacrum, your tail heavy towards the earth. So your legs are so relaxed that if your hands were to break apart, everything would just fall on the mat. Maybe that relaxed. Come back to your full breath. If you got a little dreamy here. And we can move the energy any way you like. I know it's hot where you guys are. I'm not sure if you're in air conditioning, if that's back, or if you're just trying to stay cool. Then maybe just stay here and take gentle little rocks, soothing sensations. Those of you playing with your internal heat a little bit more might start to slowly kick your feet up and bring them back in and get a little sense of kicking and folding, kicking and folding. And if your hamstrings, knees feel safe, you tuck your chin into your chest, your neck stays steady, and you start to kick so much that you rock up and down your spine. 6 to 9 rocks, pulling belly in to try to smooth it out. Those of you rocking and rolling at one point, right, let go with right up and over to all fours. Those of you more movement will crawl onto your side curve, keeping close to the earth as you crawl to all fours. Let's do a few cat cows. Everyone's hands are okay being on the ground, hands and knees. Of course, pad whatever you need. Change your hand position when needed. Otherwise, we'll stay here for a few breaths. Straightforward cats and cows, heart forward, tail up, and then round your spine like a Halloween cat, hang head tuck. How to breathe like that. Find a breath, rhythm that smooths the movement. Use the movement to grow your breath, and you want to feel a little extra stretch. Come to your neutral tabletop. Sit back toward your haunches a little bit so the weight comes off your hands enough that you can turn your hands forward. Palms forward, middle fingertip on the earth. Then press the heel of your hand, your wrist forward, like you're shooting out your spidey webs, so more fingers might come onto the earth. Thinking more out than down. Yes, you'll get a sweet finger stretch here if you squish your fingers down, but I also want your palms to stretch as you reach the thumbs away from each other. The tops of the forearms, where the finger muscles cross the wrist, to stretch as you draw the shoulder blades back down the back. Good, breathe into your open collarbones. We'll reverse that back off your hands. Make soft fists. Let's start with a thumb inside the fist, and then bring your backs of your hands onto the floor, back into a tabletop, and now you're down. Elbows out to the side, knuckles against each other like you're giving yourself a fist bump. Your fingernails turned up, your backs of hands are down. And then as you breathe in, start to lift your elbows off the mat, lifting your chest up until you feel the stretch, those finger muscles that run into the back side of the wrist, forearm up to the elbow. The tighter your fist, the more you squeeze your thumb, the more you'll feel that. If you're working with any carpal tunnel or any sensitivity, loosen your fingers. And you might slowly rock forward and back over your hands to feel the different finger extensors. If you find a real tight one, pause there, send a breath. It shouldn't hurt, it should feel like a sweet stretch. If you get a burning sensation, back out. I don't want you to irritate that. All right, calm down the way you came up. Free your hands. Turbo dog. Watch this. I don't know how often this is taught. This is taught in the power classes if you take those. We'll just do the preparatory variation. From your tabletop, you'll walk your hands one hand length forward. So hands are just in front of the shoulders. Elbows bend 1 inch, keeping the elbows hugging in. They're going to try to go like this. Keep them in, hang your head. Then you'll mat forward, try your elbows, and then enough, keeping your elbows squeezing in. Toes, breathe in. Shoulders will try to come forward, stretching back, chest towards thighs. We will. Sound fun? All right, start in your tabletop. Walk your hands 1 hand length forward. Bend your elbow 1 inch. Hang your head, look towards your navel. Keep your elbows bent just 1 inch, squeezing them in towards your ears as you lean back so your ears start to come between elbows. That might be enough. Pause and breathe. Or tuck your toes, inhale. Exhale, hover your knees 1 inch off the mat. Keep reaching your butt back, your belly in. Push your mat forward. Squeeze your elbows in. And then everyone set your knees down. Straighten your arms. Bring them back under your shoulders, normal table. Push the ground away. Inhale, round your upper back. Exhale, sink your chest down. Kind of like cat and cow, but more just sinking up and down in the shoulders. Inhale, round the upper back. Exhale, sink, shoulders collapse towards each other. Downward facing dog. If you're not doing down dog today, come into child's pose. Again, if you're trying to stay cool, keep the energy cool, child's pose is effective. Plank pose. Inhale your shoulders over your wrists. Drop your hips in line with your shoulders. Bring your ankles together. Scoop your belly up. Push the mat away. Feel your push-up muscles turn on. Set your knees down. Separate your knees a little bit. Untuck your toes. Sit back into child's pose. Cow tilt or dog tilt. Inhale to come back to your tabletop. Pull your heart forward. Tuck your toes. Exhale, downward facing dog. Reach back with your tailbone. Plank. Inhale, shoulders over wrists. You might set your knees down. That's totally fine. Exhale, set your knees down, everyone, and come into child's pose. We'll flow like that 3 more times. If you prefer to stay in any of these poses and breathe, you pause and breathe with us. You don't have to move the external body. Inhale, cow tilt. Come back to your tabletop and pull your heart forward. Tuck your toes. Exhale, downward facing dog. Or cat stretch. Stay on your knees. Inhale, plank. Exhale, knees down, child's pose. Inhale, cow tilt. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, plank. One more round. Inhale, cow tilt. If you have a preference for dogs. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, child's pose. Pause here for a few breaths. If you've already been in child's pose for several breaths and your knees need a break, then crawl out onto your belly and rest like that. Twisting lunge. Come into your tabletop. Step your right foot to the outside of your right hand. Left hand will stay on the left edge of your mat or pretty far away from right hand. Right hand to thigh to begin, twisting into your thigh. If you want to put your left hand on a yoga block, if you have that, or a block substitute, do that. Either stay just like this for the remainder of the breaths, or you can keep adding on, maybe straightening the arm, maybe straightening the back leg. 3 more breaths. Wide angled forward fold. Fancy transition. Right hand comes down to left, straighten the back leg or tuck the back toes. So you can walk your hands to the left and straighten your right leg, turning your toes in. So you end up facing the side of your mat or your real or imaginary mat. Feet parallel. Of course, you can just stand up, separate your feet 3 feet, and then take a forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Knees as bent as you like for this is our first real hamstring stretch. We played with them a little bit. If it's helpful for you to bend and straighten one leg at a time, or to let your body sway from leg to leg, to get your breath, to get a sense of movement and unwinding in these tighter tissues that are behind our legs, through our hips and into our low back, then you can play with movement. That's all ways to move breath. Twisting lunge to the other foot. Fancy transition. Simply walking your hands towards the left foot, moving left foot aside and right hand down. If you need to get up and turn around, breathe as you do that. We'll start with the back knee down like we did on the first side. Left eye. Inhale to draw your chest forward, lengthen out of your hips. Exhale to spiral into thigh. And either stay just like that. You can lower down onto your elbow if this hurts your hand. Or over the next couple breaths, you might straighten the back leg or extend the left arm, or both. One more big breath in the shape. And we'll come back the way we came in, back into your wide angled forward fold. Walking hands right, left toes in, or find a way that makes sense to your body. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Spider. Inhale to a flat back. Turn your heels in, your toes out, and bend your knees. Hands can stay on the ground, or some of you will prefer to bring elbows onto thighs. Or you can even hold your ankles and use your elbows to open your knees. You can either be very still here, breathing into the opening of the inner legs, or some spiders like to dance if you want to wiggle your hips side to side, sway it out with your breath. Do what feels spacious in your pelvis. All right, everyone bring hands on thighs. Tuck your tail under a lot, tuck your chin in, pull your belly in to round yourself up to standing. You'll toe your feet a little closer together. We'll do a grounding exercise. So you're a little wider than mountain pose. Your feet might be parallel, or if it feels more stable to you to have your toes turned out, that's fine. I want you to feel nice and stable and grounded. Like if a big wind were to come through, you might sway, but you wouldn't fall. Yeah? Okay. Now, and if you're looking at your screen, you can use your screen as a visual. Imagine there's a ceiling right at the crown of your head. So you're not going to want to bump up into the ceiling, but you want to keep your head with it. As you shift your weight onto your right foot, breathe. Your left foot might rise, but it's more important to feel the right foot rooting down. And come back to center. Feel your weight on both feet. Still breathing. Shift onto left foot. All right. Come back to center. Feel the weight right in the middle. Now go to each side on your own pace, at least 2 more times. If it becomes easy for you to find the rooting in one leg, then both leg, then one, and you go a little faster, then not only are you limiting the up and down movement, maybe less side to side movement. Hands on hips can sometimes help if you're trying to minimize side to side, just to see how your pelvis is stabilizing things. All right, we'll meet back in center when you're complete with this final round. Let's put hands on hips. Root down with your left leg. Start to bend right knee up. Foot may or may not come off the floor. Left leg may or may not straighten. Touch your right toes forward and look at your big toenail. Bend the right knee. Turn your knee out to the right. Right toe out to the side, on or off the earth. Hips stay steady. Bend your right knee. Turn it back in. Touch your toenail to the ground behind you. If you lean forward, just pull your belly in and up. Inhale, knee as close to chest as you can. Push down with left foot. Exhale, both feet on the ground. Feel for equal balance. Turn your breath back on if it got shallow. Luckily, just one more leg. Left knee towards chest. Foot may or may not come off the earth. I'm not concerned about that. This is about your right leg rooting. Big toe in front of you. Gaze at big toe. Good. Keep that abdominal engagement as you draw your left knee back in. Maybe shift your eyes forward. Turn your knee out. Left toe to the ground or floating just above ground. Bend it in. Turn it in. Left big toenail behind you. If you have to lean forward, that's fine. Pull belly ribs in. Knee as close to chest as you can. Inhale. Exhale, squeeze it up. Push down with right foot. Both feet on the earth. Oh, it's good to have both feet down. All right, separate your feet again into your wider stance, your grounded stance. Toes may be turned out, that's fine. Arms forward. Sitting back into a variation of chair, stick your butt way out, bend your knees. And some of you, if you're protecting your knees, you won't come very low. Some of you might come all the way down into a squat. And your heels might pop up, and that's okay if your knees say it's okay. Forward fold, hands down. Turn your heels out, your toes in. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees, tuck your tail, tuck your chin, round your way up to standing, pulling belly strongly against your back body. Turn the toes out a little bit. And once again, sit back into your chair, stick your butt way out. Feels compressive to low back, then you pull your belly in more and feel for squeezing at your butt. Good. Going as low as you want to go. Pause, take a breath when you're at that spot. And then exhale into your forward fold. Turn the toes back in, the heels out. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Bend and tuck your tailbone under, keep your chin tucked, round your way up. If you're working with any spinal issues and you feel burning, then don't round so much. Use your hands to help your spine come up in one piece. One more time. Aim the toes out a little bit, or if you want more challenge, you keep the toes in. Sit back in your chair. Coming as low as you dare to go. Good. Some of you are pretty low, so if you want to lower all the way down, make sure your hands catch you if you're on a hard floor. If that doesn't work, you'll come down the way you just did, forward fold, then set your knees down. Take the time to breathe into the small of your back as you do these backward forward motions. We'll all meet in a variation of seated forward fold. Let's start again with our knees bent, feet on the floor, hugging behind your knees. Inhale, tall as you can, and then pull yourself up and over your knees. Again, spinal issues, if you're rounding the spine creates burning, you're not going to round so much. You'll keep your chest lifted. Otherwise, you can turn into a lot of a ball. And then if your hamstrings are up for it, you start to straighten your legs out. Keep hugging into your thighs. With this forward fold, we can be separated. You're kind of halfway between straddle and Paschimottanasana. Good. So you're getting the whole back of the body in the stretch. Not only your hamstrings, but your spaces between your spine are opening up. The back of the neck is getting longer. One more breath. Hands to come out of the pose. Let's bend right knee up. Marichiasana variation. Left leg straight and flexed. Right foot one hand's width away from your left leg. So you're maintaining a hips distance. Both sitting bones on the ground. Left hand or elbow to right thigh. Part one, let's walk the right hand back so you're leaning away from your leg. From that position, inhale to lift the rib cage away from your pelvis. Get longer through spine. And if this feels like a nice way to twist for you, you've never quite felt this before, but it feels spacious, you stay. Otherwise, walk yourself tall back into your right thigh. And some of you will find that your elbow's on the other side of your leg. Then you can either turn the palm up or extend the arm, thumb down. Different shapes for the shoulder, both are beneficial, as long as it doesn't feel like they're creating any pain. Take one more breath. Exhale, unwind. Straighten your right leg out. Draw your left knee open. Knee dropped out to the side. Left toes touch the right leg for a forward fold over the right leg. Some of you will draw the left knee so far back that you'll have to do a little twist and forward fold. And that is classically correct as long as your body is happy about that. You get a bonus hip stretch if you do it that way. For many of our hips, keeping them square and then forward folding. Plenty to feel into there. 3 more breaths into your stretch. Right knee can still be as bent as you like, so you can lengthen your spine out over your thighs. Inhale, glance towards your big toe, pull your belly in, and have that pull you back up to sitting. Pick your left knee up, twisting into the left thigh. Is separated from the right leg a little bit. That'll make it easier to put the knee in. And then if it felt safe enough, you walk away backwards, leaning back off your thigh. Spiral that way. If you want to stay in this little more sunning on the beach variation of the twist, you stay there and imagine sunbathing, receiving fresh air. Or crunch back up again, walk yourself into left thigh. And if your elbow's on outside, either choose palm open or straight arm, thumb down. Probably whatever you did on first side, though I bet your right arm and left arm are very different, so it doesn't matter if it's the same. One more breath to lift your chest. However crunched up you are, get some length. One more exhale to pull your belly in. Untwist. Straighten your left leg out. Open your right knee back. And again, as you start to fold, you might feel pulling right knee back, hip square, or right knee back, little twist and fold. Both are correct. And if you want to put your hands under your knee again and draw yourself heart. You can use your own body for propping. As you breathe in, just nose. Pull your belly in to pull you up. Knees bent, feet on the floor in front of you. We'll play with this. You can roll down into your Shavasana like we rolled down before, or this can be kind of fun. Bend your knees in a lot, hug your knees, either over knees or underneath them to turn into a little ball. Maybe your feet come up. As you tuck your tail under, tuck your chin in, pull your belly in. Really contracted shape, breathe into the back of your body. Really feel the center around your belly button firming up. And then from there, if you want to release into Shavasana, if you're not on a very hard surface. That's one way to come in. Of course, if you want any last twists or stretches as you settle into your relaxation, take a moment to get comfy. From your relaxed place, just open your inner ears to take in the sounds from outside your space. And bring your awareness closer, hearing the sounds in your space. Tracking its sensations of the ground beneath you, where the air touches you. Texture, temperature of the air that enters your nostrils. Of course, you might choose to continue to rest in your space. And please drop back. If you're transitioning out, deepen your breath. Wake your body with small movements of fingers and toes. And if a full body stretch is appealing, reach your arms up. Maybe cross your ankles as you stretch and open your mouth wide. And then, of course, cross the other ankle if you chose that. I recommend curling up onto one side as you transition up to sitting. They say it just keeps the adrenals down regulated. But if it's easier for you to rock up, that's fine. Those of you sitting, once you're up, we'll meet with our palms together. Press your thumbs into your sternum, lift your heart, feel it beat. May the fruits of our practice benefit not only us, but all of our relations. Namaste.